Welcome, 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 welcome to the Mind Fuck Podcast. Yay! welcome, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time out to hang out with me. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome. My name is Wonu Alishe, and sometimes I do go by Amazing Soul. welcome once again. Um, I have this little tradition that I always do before I get into the episode of the day. Is where I read a list of what I titled Reminders to Being Human. It's meant to serve as a way of reminding me, but also hopefully the intention is to also serve to you as a reminder. All right. Reminders to being human. Have fun along the journey. Show yourself compassion. Be kind to others. Being complex and being simple can hold true in the same breath. Stay curious. Hold space for pauses. Hold space for not knowing. Never underestimate the power of silence. Nature has a lot of wisdom. Pay attention. There is power in we than I. If nothing else makes sense, come back to love. Pain is our greatest teacher. And the very last one, never underestimate your ripple of existence. Welcome again. Now let's get into it. I want to start with something that might sound almost too simple. Nothing I'm going to share in this episode is groundbreaking. No. There is no morning routine miracle here. There is no mindset hack. There is no dramatic before and after moment here. No. What actually changed my brain over time were small, almost boring disruptions to how I moved through my everyday life. And I didn't do them to become better. No, far from it. I actually did them because my nervous system was tired of living on autopilot. That's why I did it. See, for a long time, I thought repatterning meant thinking differently. It meant new beliefs, new affirmations, new insights, right? But what I slowly learned along this journey is this. My brain didn't need more information. No, it needed new experiences, and not big ones, micro ones. Experiences that gently told my nervous system, hey, we can do things a little differently now, Wanu. That's when regulation started to follow. Not because I forced calm, no, but because my body felt safer becoming flexible again. Let me start with one of the first things I tried: brushing my teeth with my non dominant hand. You see, at first, it felt ridiculous. I mean, I was clumsy, I kept missing spots, I almost dropped the toothbrush more than once. True story. And what really surprised me wasn't even the awkwardness. Actually, far from it. It was how alert my body became. You see, normally brushing my teeth was completely unconscious because I've been doing that, brushing my teeth with my left hand for years. I'll be thinking about emails, conversation, to-do lists, all that good jazz. But with my non-dominant hand, right? My brain had to show up and get out of that automatic mode. I had to slow down. I had to start to pay attention. I had to feel my head, my mouth, my balance. And I noticed something subtle but important. There was no room for rumination. No replaying old stories, no mentally rehearsing the future problems. No, there was just sensation of the water in my mouth, the toothpaste forming in between my teeth, brushing my tongue. That was my first lived experience of this truth. Presence isn't a mindset, it's a nervous system state. By asking my brain to do something unfamiliar but not threatening, I was gently waking up neural pathways that had been asleep. Over time, that one tiny disruption started bleeding into the rest of my morning. Regulation for me didn't arrive as calm. No, it arrived as awareness. Then I started eating with my non-dominant hand. I love having fun with this stuff, right? This one brought up more than I expected. Eating had always been another autopilot activity for me. Fast, distracted, sometimes emotionally charged. That was what eating has always been for me over the years. Now, using my non-dominant hand slowed everything down. You see, I started to notice the texture of the food in my mouth more, the flavors more. I mean, the act of chewing more. But I also noticed something else. When I first started this, there was impatience, a lot of it. My body wanted speed, efficiency, control. And when I couldn't move as quickly, a low level irritation surfaced. And that irritation for me was simply information. It showed me how often my nervous system equated speed with safety. So instead of judging this information, I stayed curious, right? I let myself eat slower. I let meals take longer. I let awkwardness be a part of my human experience. And slowly, eating food became less about getting through it and more about being with the experience of eating food. That shift, my friend, mattered. Because when your nervous system learns it doesn't have to rush during something as basic as eating food, it starts to question where else it's been rushing unnecessarily. This next one I'm about to share with you seems almost very laughable, but it's very simple. I started sleeping on different sides of the bed every night. True story. At first, I didn't think it would matter. I was just curious, right? But my body noticed immediately. The first few nights, sleep fell off, right? Not bad, just unfamiliar. My brain didn't know where to place things. I mean, the orientation was different, the habits didn't line up. But here's what I realized from that experience or experiment, like I like to put it. My nervous system had memorized safety through repetition, not choice. By alternating sides, I was gently teaching my body that safety could exist more than one configuration. And over time, my sleep became more flexible. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't magically fixed, far from it, but it was less rigid. And rigidity, my friend, I have learned over the years, is often a sign of an overworked nervous system. You see, I'll share another experience with you. This was another small experiment I carried out over the years. I stopped parking my car in the same spot every day, right? Um, because for me it was very routine based and I just wanted to try something else. At first, it felt very inefficient, right? But what it really disrupted for me was predictability. That is the key word here. And predictability is not bad until it becomes the only place your nervous system feels okay, right? So for me, by parking in different spots, I had to orient myself each time. I had to mentally notice the landmarks, feel where my body was in space, and pay attention to my body. It pulled me out of my mental looping and it pulled me into awareness of my body. And I'm telling you, my friend, that matters because orientation is a core component of regulation. A regulated nervous system knows where it is. That is key, my friend. This one I'm about to share with you changed me more than I expected. Taking showers in the dark removed visual dominance for me. Suddenly, I had to rely on my other senses: touch, sound, temperature, feeling. At first, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was uncomfortable as fuck. Not scary, but disorientating. And again, that discomfort wasn't a problem. No, for me, it was just feedback, information, right? My nervous system was used to controlling experiences through sight over the years. No right or wrong, right? Without it, I had to surrender. I noticed the water more, the way it hit my shoulders, the temperature shift in the water. I started to notice that more. And something over time softened. It was so powerful. My mind quieted. Not because I tried to quiet it, no, but because sensation took the lead. That's when I understood something very, very powerful. Regulation often follows sensory trust. When your body feels safe, sensing the present moment, the mind doesn't have to run ahead to protect you. This next one I'm about to share with you, this one is still a practice for me. I still do it till today. Every few months, I move my furniture around. Not dramatically, just enough to change how I move through space. That's what it does for me. Different walking paths, different visual cues, different pauses. And each time, there's a brief period of disorientation and then adaptation. That adaptation is the point. It simply reminds my nervous system that change doesn't equal danger. That I can reorganize my environment and remain okay. This is important, my friend. And over time, that translated inwards. And change for me stopped feeling like a threat, right? Uncertainty stopped feeling like collapse. Remember, this stuff takes time. Here's the part I want to be clear about. None of these practices fixed me. Absolutely not. They did not eliminate my patterns overnight. No. They did not bypass emotional work. No. What they did was something quieter and more powerful. They restored my flexibility. You see, a nervous system that can adapt to small changes is a nervous system that can handle bigger ones. Regulation followed in my life not because I chased calm, no, but because I taught my body over the years that novelty could be safe. That safety didn't come from thinking, it came from felt experience. You see, from brushing my teeth differently to eating differently, sleeping differently, moving differently. You see, over time, small choices repeated differently. You see, my friend, if you're listening to this, wondering where to start, I'll say this to you, right? I want you to pick one thing, not to optimize yourself, not to improve yourself. No, 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 far from it, but to remind your nervous system that it's allowed to learn again. That flexibility is still available. And that change doesn't have to be dramatic to be real. That, my friend, that's the work. Nervous system regulation is quiet, it's practical, and it's deeply human. And for me, it changed everything. I want to thank you for taking time out to listen to me, for being here. It means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From my heart to yours, I am sending you so much love. Thank you.